Good morning, good day, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the globe, whether you're in the north, south, east, west, around the equator. I'm back again with another one. Today, I want to finish off my story from where we started to where it ended and began as well. As I explained from the previous episode that I worked with Anglo American, then I left Anglo American and went to ESCOM, and I left ESCOM as well. After 11 years of service, I left. Then I went and started my own entity. I don't want to call it a company because um, I'm still building, and I'm not building a company, I'm building an entity. So when I left ESCOM, it was after 11 years of service, and with so much or with copious experience in different fields, an exposure in corporate, an exposure in technical, more specifically in ICT. So I saw a gap or an opportunity for me to explore myself, to expand my capabilities within the ICT space. And then I decided to start something of my own. So I went and actually, when I started my own entity, I did not have I did not have a clear plan. I've always known that I wanted to start my own entity. I've always known that one day I'm going to leave and be on my own, but I never really figured the entire picture of how is it going to start and what exactly am I going to start with. But because I was baptized with the innovation reign throughout my time in those two companies, um, I I took an advantage of that experience to say, let me see if I can expand myself in this ICT space. So I never wanted to start something that I'm going to depend on somebody else to approve or sign a check for me. I never wanted to depend on some kind of a system that is going to be dependent on um, some kind of an authority over my ideas. So I wanted to build something from zero, from level zero, and gradually build it up to be whatever that I envisage in the next 5, 10, 15, 20, 30 years to come. So I'm on my sixth. I'm on my sixth year. Yeah, I'm on my sixth year since I started. So being on my own, reporting to myself, and running around, figuring things out, moving 100 pieces or 1,000 pieces at a time, trying to figure out which piece could fit into another, and what I could be able to connect was the fact that um, since I got baptized with the innovation reign, I can be able to establish myself within the innovation space, utilizing my ICT experience and exposure. And then I I went and tried to look into the ideas that I had, because I've always been able to document or write down all the ideas that I always had. Every idea that I had from my high school times, I had a book where I wrote them. So I went into that book and looked into all the ideas that I had, and then some of them were not quite making sense, and most of them were better to be taken on and worked on. So I looked into that list, and I added on to the new list that I had. So I have a long list of innovative ideas that I'm taking one at a time and try to implement and see what I can come up with. So actually, I think I'm gonna start selling ideas. So if you're interested in buying an idea, have me on the comments, and then I'll 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 engage you and see which one could be suitable for you to buy, and then you buy and run with it. I'll assist you to take it through the process. So um, I didn't have much of a plan to establish myself per se in terms of finances. I didn't have much of a plan to build like immediately when I left in terms of infrastructure and materials. So I relied on myself, to build myself. I had nothing at all to do anything. So I had to come up with ways to figure this thing out. And I realized in the process of coming up with ways, I needed some kind of traction for me to be able to open doors. So, traction is some kind of a history that you can present to, or you can knock on a specific door. If the door gets opened, you can use that traction to present yourself, to present your ideas, to present your business. And I figured that I needed traction. First of all, I needed traction to I needed to build traction to be able to knock on doors and open doors. And for me to have that traction, then I'm gonna have to build or come up with a name that's gonna sustain, that's gonna uh, be corporatizable, a brand that I can corporatize, because I'm building a corporate entity. So I came up with a name. If you look behind me, you can. I think you can see there's a banner behind me. This is a banner for one of the projects that I'm running. On top of the banner, on the blue strip, this part of the banner, there's the name of my entity. It's called Adam Vego. Adam Vego. My first name is Adam. My star sign is Virgo. But this name has nothing to do with those two names, or those two things that I've mentioned. This name, Adam Virgo, has nothing to do with my first name being Adam, and has nothing to do with my star sign being Virgo. I want to make that clear so that everyone understands. Adam is the Hebrew name meaning the beginning, and Virgo is a Latin name meaning fresh. So, because I had my own personal problems from childhood, growing up, when I started working, and then most of those problems emanated around the same area of life, which was more around the financial growth. So I struggled a lot to um, find myself, to find my access, so I can rotate around an access that I'm more comfortable around. So it took me a long time to find that axis. Axis, it's like a line where it's like Earth is rotating around the sun on its axis, you know. So it took me a very long time to find that axis, but I eventually found the axis, something that I can leverage and gravitate on, and use that as my axis to rotate around the sun and continue realizing the dreams that I have, the visions that I see, you know. And I was able to find that. So in the process of finding that, I had to now come up with a name that is actually meaningful to the entire process. Hence Adam Virgo. So it's Adam means the beginning. Virgo means fresh. Virgo, the virgin. Virgin is a fresh thing. Virgin means fresh. So the entire name, when you put it together, it actually means fresh beginnings. So I had to start over. So I started my life over. For those who don't know, I have started my life over. Like I pressed a reset button and started from zero. So I wanted to start from zero so I can build everything with my own hands, build everything with my own mentality, approach, and capabilities. And that's where the name came from. So it has nothing to do with my name and my star sign. But when you read the name, you will immediately think I have used my name and my star sign, which would make sense because Adam is my name and Virgo is my star sign, but they actually mean fresh beginnings. So that was the fresh beginnings for the entire entity that I'm trying to build. So I then had no plan whatsoever on how am I going to approach or start this entire thing. And entire thing of building traction. Remember what I said about traction? So I needed to build that traction. Then I was like, what could it be? What can I go for? What can I do? What do I know? You know, all my life I've been relying on the companies that I was working for. Basically, I know nothing about anything on my own. You know, everything that I've known, everything that I've done, financially, socially, or otherwise, it's things that I have done growing up from those two companies that I started working when I was 20 years old. So one of the things that I grew up doing when I was very young, from the age of 11, I showed a lot of interest in agriculture. So I showed a lot of interest in agriculture. I showed a lot of interest in farming. So I loved agriculture. I loved farming. So when I was 11 years old, I used to farm in vegetables. I used to farm in different types. I actually planted fruit trees, everything that you can think of. And fortunately, I lived with my grandfather or my grandparents from the age of 10, and then they could be, or they were able to taught us, young as we were, how to farm, how to look after livestock, how to milk animals or milk the cows that we had at home, and goats and stuff like that. So I developed a love for farming. I'm still doing it even today. I'm still going to share more around that in the next episodes. Hence, I said previously that there's a lot that I'm going to share, and I'm going to cover most of the entire spectrum in the entire entrepreneurship space. So, as I was thinking and trying to come up with a way to build traction, and then that idea struck my mind for me to look into farming as something that I can start with, because in farming you can actually start from zero and develop yourself into somebody else. And that was the exact thing that I was going to do. So in farming, you can actually walk down the street and come across a rotten tomato being thrown away by somebody who's selling tomatoes. And you can pick that up. We can literally do that. Pick that tomato up, go back home, plant that tomato, or squeeze the tomato in some kind of a container, put some soil on the seeds, put some water on it, leave it for 2 weeks. In 2 weeks' time, you see small tomato trees coming up, and you can actually transplant those tomato trees into a row of. Then you've started, and then one tree can actually give you a basket full of tomatoes, and you can sell those for, say, around 100 rands. So if one tree can give you 100 rands and you've planted 20 trees, then it means you have 100 rands times 20, which is 2,000 rands. Then you can take the 2,000 rands, invest it in another idea that you had, because now you have traction. You understand what I'm trying to say? So it clicked my mind, and then I went to the drawing board and looked into my experiences in farming from that age of 11 to then. Then I realized I think chickens would do. Then I went into selling chickens. I went into selling eggs, which was one of the ideas that I've always had, but I never had a chance to do that, because every time or whenever you are employed by a specific company or entity, you don't really get a chance to do most of those things that you always wanted to do. So this was my chance to start afresh, hence the fresh beginnings. So it was my chance to establish these fresh beginnings. And then I went for chickens. I went and bought 2 boxes of. I didn't have much money, so I went and bought 2 boxes of chicks, day-old chicks, small chickens, the ones that just got hatched last night. I went and bought those. One box was 500 rands, so I bought 2 boxes. It was 1,000 rands. 1,000 rands in US dollars. It's around 1,000 rand in US dollars. It's around say 50 US dollars. Yeah, 50 US dollars. And then I was able to buy 2 boxes of day-old chicks. These day-old chicks were for broiler chickens. Broiler chickens are chickens that are meant for meat. So we grow those chickens for consumption. Then I grew those chickens, and then they grew, and then to a point of sale. Then I sold them. That's when I started. Then I started the traction. I had a small vehicle that I used to transport whatever that I needed, whatever material that I needed, feeders, whatever that was, for me to be able to build that traction. Then I was able to, and then I saw myself growing from the 200 to one box of chicks carries 100 chicks. One box of day-old chicks, you get 100 chicks in one box. So I saw myself growing from 200 chickens to 300 chickens to 400 chickens to 500. So if you buy 5 boxes, then you've got 500 chicks that you're going to grow. But it's it's another business where you will inevitably not end up with 500 chickens. If you start with 500 chicks, you will always end up with 450, 490, 480, because there's a very high levels of mortality in that space due to different factors. But we'll speak about that at the little later stage. And I saw myself growing from those numbers that I started with. It took me about 6 months. It took me about 6 months to see the traction that I was building growing, and then in the entrepreneurship, there's something called pivoting. Pivoting is like you look at your business model and then you realize, no, but customers are always giving customers are always somebody's calling me customers are always giving opinions and comments about these products, and why don't I add this and that, why don't I sell this and that. Then I pivoted the business the business from just selling chickens to selling chickens and eggs, and then I started selling chickens, eggs, and chicks. So I started to supply chicks. Then I added another product based on the demand, which was chickens, eggs, chicks, and sawdust. Because when you sell chicks, you need to also sell sawdust for sawdust. For sawdust, it's wood shavers. I don't know what they call them in different countries. But when you cut the wood, there's the things that fall on the ground. We use that to prepare a bed for the chicks. So I started to introduce that product as well. So I was introducing product as customers were suggesting and demanding certain things. So when you supply customers with chicks, they will also require medication. I supplied medication. Then I realized, oh damn, this is one big business that I never thought I would venture into, because now I'm supplying all these things regarding chickens. And then that's when my traction started growing. I saw myself growing from pillar to pillar, strength to strength, customer to customer. And then my first innovative idea now came into play. I came up with an idea to build some kind of a system, where one-stop service system, where customers can actually come and order whatever that they want. Then I don't want to give away a lot of details, but customers could come and order whatever that they want. Then I'll be able to supply them with whatever goods, whatever services that they needed. And then my first innovative idea came into existence. And that was a year, or about a year and 2 months later, after I've started everything. So can you see how traction has been built? So I built that traction based on that, and eventually I found myself establishing an innovative idea based on the things that I was doing as and when I was building my traction. And at the end of the entire process, I can't say it was the end, because I had to move or change my approach and change how I was doing things. I'm doing things differently now, because as I was saying that I had to come up with a way to build this entity. I had to, find a way to put these 1,000 pieces that are on my table together to form a complete picture of the entity that I was trying to build. And I found my first innovative idea, and then I ran with that innovative idea for about 5 years, 4.5 years, or so, say 4 years. So I ran with that innovative idea for 4 years, and I built a very reputable traction using that innovative idea from just one thought, and I was able to make around 55 US dollars in that space for that period of time. 55 US dollars, that's around just over 2.6 million rands, utilizing or working on one innovative idea. I made just over 2.6 million rands in revenue. So 55,000 US dollars in revenue, it's a lot in our country. So I use that now to go and knock on different doors. So on daily basis, actually on weekly basis, I started a system that I use. Even today, I still use this system, whereby I apply for a support program or a support system, which are available on different sites. Remember last week I shared the first site, which was disruptafrica.com. So today I'll be sharing another one. So I went into the internet and searched for different sites where I'll be able to find updates on different support programs for innovative ideas and stuff like that. And I was able to save a couple of them. And that's why I started to be disciplined and give myself a target per week that every week on Fridays, I submit 2 applications for support programs to support my innovative ideas. So every week, every Friday, like it or not, for sure, I need to submit 2 applications for support programs for any or whatever idea that I have. It doesn't matter where or what the idea is, whether the idea is working or not. I go in, I check what is available, what program is there, then I check the list of my ideas and I submit for that particular idea that matches that particular program or support programs, because I want the program to support my idea. Like I said, that our governments in different countries are desperate for innovative ideas to create jobs. As I said, that governments cannot hire all of us. So you have ideas that are sitting and doing nothing, gathering dust. You can use those ideas and capitalize on the support programs to match the ideas that you have, such that they can support your ideas to grow. So I use that opportunity every week too. That's my target. Remember the discipline that I mentioned in the last episode, that you need discipline. You also need to be zest. You also need your inquisitiveness. So this is the discipline that I was talking about. So whether it's raining or it's hot, or I will always submit 2 applications. It doesn't matter what is happening. So it's already in my vocab. I'm already used. It's already in my blood that every Friday I submit 2 support programs for any idea that I have. And it happens like that. So this year so far is 2025. It's June 2025. I've already submitted 57 support programs. 57 support programs. Out of the 57, some programs are supporting, or one idea, I submitted one idea to different programs, 2 ideas, different programs, different ideas. So I do that. That's the discipline that I was talking about. So that is that. And then I think my journey for my innovation or disruptive innovation has started like that. And I'm now building my own entity. This is my 6th year, and it's coming together as planned. And it still has a long way to go, and I'm hoping with your interventions I'll be able to gather more ideas as well, such that I can introduce into this entity such that we grow. So today I'm going to share someone is calling me, and I think it's my brother. My brother's calling me. He started on WhatsApp, now he's calling on a direct call. I'll call him back. the this call is disturbing me. The support programs that I'm going to share today can be found on a site called Innovation Bridge Portal. Innovation Bridge Portal. It's by the Department of Science, Technology and Innovation, the DSTI. If you go to Innovation Bridge Portal and save that on your laptop, on your mobile device, this site has a long list of available programs that you can apply to support your innovative ideas. One of the programs that I've seen is Anglo-American Zimele. Anglo-American Zimele is currently available under Innovation Bridge Portal. You can apply for that. It's an ED program to support your innovative or disruptive innovative ideas or disruptive innovations. And you can submit your application to the DTI as well. They're available on the Innovation Bridge Portal. There's also one for there's also one for I'm trying to think. Now I forgot that other one. But go to Innovation Bridge Portal and click under opportunities, and I think it's opportunities and what? Let me just check. Hold on. Let me just check. It's opportunities and something. Innovative Bridge Portal. Go to click on the opportunities and events. Yeah, click on the opportunities and events tab. Once you're on that Innovation Bridge Portal, click on opportunities and events. Then you'll see all the events, business and entrepreneurship events that are taking place across the globe, and opportunities to support the innovative ideas. So Innovation Bridge Portal, it's what I'm sharing for this week for you guys to go and check and save it on your mobile device or laptop, and then start supporting your ideas from there. Just before I go, look out for another opportunity that is available but I'll share this next week, because this one is also something that I've discovered as well. So if I share it now, I'm going to confuse a lot of you. So I'll share it next week anyway, because I checked the opportunities there. I think they don't have deadlines. There's ones that has deadlines generally, and then there's one that has ongoing deadline. So the deadline is not a given date. It's just ongoing. So whether it's June, it's December, it's January, you'll always apply. So I'll share it next week in my next episode. So for this week, let me leave you with another method that I've been using to come up with or to refine my innovative ideas, which is called the Javelin Board. So the Javelin Board, it's one method that some of you might be familiar with, the Javelin Board method. Javelin is this Olympic sports where you hold a spear. It's a spear, or it's not a spear. I like jokes, and this is serious. It's a steel arrow. I don't know what they call it. It's a javelin rod. You throw that thing, and then it goes tweet, and then the judges or the referees will come and measure the distance from the lines and how far it went, as opposed to the other opponent or whatever. I don't know how it works, but I basically understand that the one who thrown the javelin further than the rest is the winner. So javelin board is it's an example of that, whereby you put your idea here. You say, I want to start selling chickens, and then you put your idea here, and then you put a board here, or a piece of paper, or a whiteboard, and then you stick, those sticky notes. You write all other details about this idea that you just highlighted, that you want to start. You write all other details, factors, and different things, and different kind of approaches and mechanisms. Anything that comes to you, write it on a piece of sticky note. You stick it on the board. So eventually your board will be filled with a lot of sticky notes, and then you go through the sticky notes, and then you look at the factors, or the characteristics that you have indicated on your sticky notes that might not apply that much to the idea. Then you eliminate them. You eliminate the ones that does not apply much to your idea from the board. And then when you're done eliminating, your javelin board will have less sticky notes. Then you continue second round, you eliminate. Eventually you'll be left with very few sticky notes. Those few sticky notes are the core of your idea. You take those sticky notes, start working on those sticky notes. Whatever that you wrote on those sticky notes, make that the characteristics of your idea, that my idea stands with these legs. I'm going to sell chicken, but this chicken that I'm going to sell, it's an AI chicken. The chicken talks to people. The chicken, when you're cooking this chicken, I'm just saying. And then you put that together, and then they will give you a well-refined idea that is going to work out. And then you come and you visit innovations bridge portal. You find a support program that you can use for that idea. You apply, you attach that idea, you attach your traction, whatever that you have, because now you are knocking on doors. So as you knock on the door, they will request some certain information, and one of the information to be requested might be traction. What have you done so far? You attach that, and then the response might be very positive, and then you start growing your idea from there. So that's it from me. I'll see you again, guys, next week.